Shalom. Shalom and welcome. This is Yahusha's time. Yahusha's time. It is an end-time series. An end-time series that will prove that all debates and arguments among Yahushua, among those who truly seek set-apartness, will come to an end, my brothers and sisters. We will be united. We will be made whole. The things that separate and cause divisions will be removed in order that we may be gathered from the four corners of the earth, representative of awakening nation. Proof comes. Proof as to the presence of the Spirit of Yahusha among us. Proof of those who are indeed his chosen leaders, his chosen elders, his chosen mores, his chosen priests. Proof will come in a phenomenal way. With extraordinary power, my brothers and sisters, we will witness an awakening nation rise up. True Yahusha, consisting of both Hebrews and Gentiles, or Abri, or Abrim, and Goyim, other nations, grafted together as one by Yahusha Messiah under one banner. That banner will indeed be Yahusha. If you're tuning in for the first time, my brothers and sisters, always pray, watch, and seek to discern and understand what is indeed true, what is indeed set apart by the Almighty Father Yahuah. Today is December 10th, 2014. This is part 2 of a multi-part segment entitled Return to the Basics. This is part 2. If you are returning from part 1, or if you are returning from any messages that you have heard me present, I thank you. I salute your patience, your tolerance. I salute your pursuit of set-apartness. And I pray that anything that is confirmed to be set apart coming from me, that Yahusha Messiah gets all credit and esteem, and that he is lifted up. And in lifting up Yahusha Messiah, we witness his spirit working in us, one towards another, through us, through his chosen leaders, and in him working through us, we witness coming together by his power, by his might. My brothers and sisters, I believe the different languages and dialects as well as the slangs have grown widely and continue to grow, with many words merely representing form of some type. In other words, our diverse languages and abuse of communications have resulted in many non-functioning words and terms that have caused us to be divided. At the very least, many of these terms are unnecessary. Consider how one will argue whether a glass is half empty or half full, opposed to just saying it is 3 ounces in there. There are 5 ounces in there. Many have consumed time whether a word should be called a plant should be called a tomato or a tomato. There are so many things, my brothers and sisters, that diverse languages have confounded us, and it is a result of our own greed. It is a result of our own wickedness. It is a result in the fruit of our rebellion. In order that we speak to one another clearly and set apartness, it would be wise to realize we must be prayerful at all times. We must pray without ceasing and let the Spirit of Yahusha guide our tongues, direct our communications. There are even divisions among set apart ones, whether we should wear fringes versus tassels or not wear them at all. Some say fringes mean one thing, tassels mean another. Do they? The language used in many translations of scriptures, if gone unrecognized by the Spirit of Yahusha, we will find confusion. In other words, in the translations, if we look at the text alone, we will find, and we do see, that there's confusion in one's perception and interpretation of Scripture. Consider the word day. It is widely debated when a day truly begins and ends, what a day means. Some believe it's daylight alone, from morning to sunset, or from sunrise to sunset, disregarding the night as part of our existence altogether. There are some who say it's from evening to evening. They stress it strongly when Shabbat comes around, but we don't hear those messages being said throughout the week. And there are those who believe it's sunrise to sunrise, or as for me and my house, we say morning to morning. Yes, my brothers and sisters, proof will come as how we are to measure a day. There are those who believe you measure it by the moon. the lunar cycles. Pray and watch, my brothers and sisters. This division will be laid waste among those who will be gathered from the four corners of the earth. It will be laid waste among the children of obedience. It will be laid waste among those who will be among the ranks of the 144,000 in multitude described in Revelation 7 chapter. My brothers and sisters, know this, O Yahusha, proof will come, and we will be refined. The children of obedience will witness purging and coming away. We will witness growing into set-apartness like never before imagined. Our final exodus will prove to demand unity, structure, and discipline. And we will find this occurring as we are humbled during the intense times that are to come. We will soon come to realize there will be massive movement. There will be movements. There will be a return to the basics when it comes to worshiping and obeying and listening and leaning to the voice of the Spirit of Yahusha. Soon and very soon, conditions will become so intense the need to be precise will rise among those called to fulfill the task of the final exodus, as well as for those who are ordered to be martyrs for Yahusha's name. Many of you by now have heard me indicate that the habitable places on this planet will roll up like a scroll. You probably have heard me say that there will be forced migrations and forced transitions. Who has considered the 144,000 in multitude that will come to be? Regardless of what we think, believe, or don't believe, these individuals will emerge and proof will be visible even to the rebellious. Proof of the fulfillment of Revelation 7 will come. The great multitude will rise, and comparing it to the world's population, that multitude will represent a remnant. There will be no one who can stop this phenomenal transition that we are about to face, this phenomenon that is forthcoming. My brothers and sisters, like I've stated time and time again, there are four basic things we need to survive from a practical perspective: fresh air, fresh water, food, and a safe place to live. Believe it or not, CO2 and methane gases are rising in our atmosphere at alarming rates, threatening the very air we breathe. As a result of rising CO2 and methane gases, we are witnessing global warming and climate change, of which are producing unpredictable and erratic weather patterns and conditions. Drought has become widespread in many places where most of our food is produced, is grown. Many of us are unaware. Soon we will begin to realize going without fresh water in the areas where most of our food comes will lead to extreme food shortages. It will prove to result in major food shortages, disappearing food inventories. We will soon see grocery stores, restaurants, and cafeterias and marketplaces shutter their doors, close, unable to get various inventories. Many of us are unaware of what is happening. We are more caught up with greed in the economy, so we just look at the prices going up, and we say, oh, they'll go down again. They go up and down, and we look at it from an economic perspective, void of realizing what is causing the prices to go up. What makes the prices go up? Unaware that supplies are shrinking. There are so many who might be aware of the news regarding major and extreme droughts. However, for some reason, most people do not connect these rising droughts to an evaporating or disappearing food inventory. The world will soon get a wake-up call on the matter of severe and extreme famine. That is emerging. It is emerging as I speak. Much of the famine in an industrialized nation is being masked, like I said, by people focusing on prices and commenting and debating on those. Many can care less until it reaches their household. Pestilence and disease are on the rise like never before. There are many different, diverse diseases popping up, and there are many viruses that are mutating as this message is going forth. Soon and very soon there will be more pandemics beyond what is unraveling on the west coast of Africa, beyond Ebola, beyond enterovirus D66 or chikungunya, beyond hepatitis, beyond cancer, beyond diabetes, beyond high blood pressure. We will witness plagues and pandemics rise up, my brothers and sisters. As the fruit of man's rebellion, we will see these things occur. As for the children of obedience, as for those who will be guided from the four corners of the earth to a safe place, we are not appointed to the wrath of the Almighty Father. My brothers and sisters, many of us here talks about Yahusha coming together or the need to unite. There are some brothers and sisters who have escaped trusting that the Most High Father Yahuah through a set-apart spirit sent in Yahusha's name. They have escaped believing and trusting that He will make us whole before the physical return of Yahusha Messiah. There are many brothers and sisters that cannot discern how we will be united. They are void of realizing that we will be humbled, and in our weakness we will witness the presence of the Spirit of Yahusha rise up within us. There are brothers and sisters who are using their academic prowess, their skill sets, their natural taught skill sets, in an effort to fulfill the scriptures of bringing Yahusha all together. They are trying to erase, they are trying to build something of a sovereignty using a democratic process. This will not be the case in Yahusha's gathering from the four corners of the earth. We will see a reflection of a sovereignty. There will be orders and commands, not maybes, not suggestions, orders, commands, of which to those who will be trained by them, exercised by the set-apart spirit that the Almighty Father sent in Yahusha's name, will demonstrate how and what must be done. The Almighty Father's hand will come upon us, and He will demonstrate with proof. Just as we witnessed the earth opening up in Numbers 16th chapter and removing the rebellious and the disobedient, at that time we will see other situations happen where the Almighty Father will remove the rebellious who fight against His chosen leaders, His chosen elders that are tasked to structure Yahusha, that will be tasked to lead true Yahusha. We will discover in the near future, if not already, that there are brothers and sisters who will face the most trying of times, and out of such experience will seek to discover where we have fallen. Yes, there will be times of reflecting and returning to the basics. There will be a return to the basics, my brothers. Who will be among the children of obedience, those gathered from the four corners of the earth? Who will be among the martyrs for Yahusha's name? Will you know what it means to return to the basics? I believe we will. I believe you will. We will grow to know that on many occasions we must reflect back and allow the Spirit of Yahusha to provide us with a discerning mind and spirit to recognize where we have fallen in or stumbled. I have witnessed all too often individuals who refuse or fight the need to look back. I have witnessed individuals who will either become slothful or plainly just rebel when it comes to acknowledging reproof and discipline, when it comes to the need to examine oneself. Some will even label a person telling someone to look back or executing discipline or reproof. They will even falsely label the obedient and say, oh, that wasn't done in love, you weren't humble, oh, you ain't supposed to judge, only Yahuah judge. But yet they say they believe in Yahuah who works in us and through us. Walking contradictions are indeed among us, my brothers and sisters. Who is aware of 1 Peter 4:17 through 19? It reads as follows: because it is time for judgment to begin from the house of Elohim. And if firstly from us, what is the end of those who do not obey the good news of Elohim? And if the righteous one is scarcely saved, where shall the wicked and the sinner appear? So then those who suffer according to the desire of Elohim should commit their lives to a trustworthy Creator in doing good. Yes, my brothers and sisters, judgment begins at the house of Elohim. This means we who are vessels, who are temples, who are hakals, instruments of the Almighty Father. We will be used to judge one another, to sharpen one another. We will demonstrate truly what iron sharpened iron represents. Pray and watch, my brothers and sisters. Pray and watch. A return to the basics will prove to be true in the very near future. I will pause here in part 2 of this multi-part segment entitled Return to the Basics. Again, I salute your tolerance, your patience, your endurance, your zeal, your desire to identify set-apartness. Pray and watch, my brothers and sisters. The Spirit of Yahusha will make all alive that is indeed set apart. Pray and watch Isaiah 55:11 will prove that any word, anything that is set apart will perform its task successfully and will not return to the Almighty Father void or empty. It will succeed. It will stir the spirits, the minds. It will cause the bodies to respond. We will witness the words, the living words of set-apartness rise up within us, my brothers and sisters. I invite you to stay tuned for part 3 as we continue with this multi-part segment entitled Return to the Basics. Shalom, shalom, shalom.